Beneath the neon glow of downtown Los Angeles, where history and modern decay intertwine, stands the infamous Cecil Hotel, a towering monument to both glamour and despair. Once a shining beacon in the 1920s, it had long since devolved into a shadowed resting place for the broken, the lost, and the forgotten. Drug addicts, transients, and criminals had made it their haven. Police officers knew it as a magnet for trouble, and in 2013, it became the stage for one of the most haunting and inexplicable cases in American true crime: the death of a young woman named Elisa Lam. The story begins in early February 2013, when guests at the Cecil began to complain about strange water pressure, black liquid seeping from taps, and a foul taste in their drinking supply. Maintenance workers climbed to the hotel's rooftop, where massive water tanks loomed under the gray Californian sky. What they discovered would haunt the city's memory forever: the naked, lifeless body of 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam floating in the tank, her belongings scattered nearby. But how did she get there? The water tanks were sealed, heavy, and required effort to open. The rooftop was locked, and alarmed-only staff had access. Yet somehow, Elisa had reached the roof, entered the tank, and drowned. The official ruling was accidental death due to drowning, with her bipolar disorder cited as a contributing factor. But the questions, the impossible, chilling questions, refused to die. To understand the mystery, one must first understand who Elisa was. She was a bright, curious student from Vancouver, Canada. The daughter of immigrant parents from Hong Kong, she struggled with bipolar disorder and depression, but also maintained an online presence, blogging candidly about her mental health battles. In January 2013, Elisa decided to take a solo trip across California, San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Cruz, a journey meant for self-discovery and escape. She checked into the Cecil Hotel on January 26th. The days that followed would spiral into darkness. Guests reported strange behavior from Elisa. She would enter an elevator, pressing multiple buttons, then peer anxiously into the hallway, as though pursued by an unseen force. She gestured, hid, stepped in and out erratically. This footage, released by police as part of their investigation, became viral, one of the most unsettling internet mysteries of the decade. Millions watched, replayed, speculated. Was Elisa hiding from someone? Was she experiencing a psychotic episode? Or was something supernatural at play? The Cecil itself fueled the legend. Nicknamed Hotel Death by locals, it had hosted serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the infamous Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, the Austrian murderer who strangled sex workers. Suicides were frequent. In fact, so many deaths occurred there that locals whispered the building was cursed. And so, when the video of Elisa's final moments spread, many were quick to connect her death to the Cecil's dark history. Conspiracy theories bloomed like wildfire. Some believed she was murdered by a hotel worker or guest, her body hidden in the tank. Others suggested she was playing the elevator game, an urban legend from Korea said to open portals to another world. Paranormal enthusiasts swore the Cecil was haunted, and Eliza had become another victim of its sinister energy. Skeptics pointed to her bipolar disorder. Perhaps she was in a manic state, paranoid and delusional, climbing to the rooftop of her own volition. The autopsy deepened the enigma. No signs of trauma, no drugs or alcohol in her system beyond medication prescribed for her condition. Cause of death: accidental drowning. Yet the report left out crucial details, like how exactly she managed to enter the sealed tank. Could a young woman, barely 5'4", really lift and climb inside? Public fascination exploded online. True crime forums, YouTube channels, Reddit threads all dissected the elevator footage, frame by frame, interpreting Elisa's frantic movements as evidence of stalking, possession, or hallucination. Her Tumblr blog became a shrine. Her words reread with eerie hindsight. You're always haunted by the idea you're wasting your life. One of her posts write a line that chilled readers in light of her tragic end. Investigators eventually concluded Eliza had likely been overwhelmed by a manic episode. Her judgment clouded, leading her to the rooftop. She may have climbed in the tank, seeking water or safety, unable to escape once inside. Logical, perhaps, but for many, the explanation rang hollow. The video remained too bizarre, the circumstances too improbable, the hotel too steeped in horror for such a tidy answer. Even today, more than a decade later, Elisa Lam's death continues to haunt Los Angeles. Documentaries, podcasts, and Netflix series revisit her story, each trying to untangle fact from myth. But perhaps the truth will never be fully known. Elisa became not only a victim, but a symbol of urban isolation, of the fragile boundary between mental illness and mystery, and of how one ordinary young woman could be consumed by an extraordinary legend. As you sip your glass of water tonight, imagine the guests at the Cecil in 2013, unknowingly drinking from the same tank that concealed her body. And ask yourself, was Elisa Lam's death simply a tragic accident? Or was it another chapter in the cursed saga of the Cecil Hotel, where the line between reality and nightmare vanishes? Don't forget to like and subscribe to Crimson Narratives for more chilling true crime stories that will keep you up at night.